Welcome back to the channel, guys. Thank you all for tuning in. Been a few days since we could make a video, and we still can't make a tractor video, but that's okay. We got plenty to show you, plenty to talk about. Thank you for all the new subscribers and everybody that's been commenting and everything. Enjoyed it. Thank y'all all for being here. Got a question. We're going to start this off right because we got a lot to cover today. I want to show you a lot of garden stuff, but got a question for you. I pulled these garlics about a week ago, and to my surprise, they have sit here on this table and these little balls have come out. I assume it's the seeds or something. I guess it's getting the energy from what was stored in the stalk. Maybe any moisture that was stored in there, maybe it sucked it out. They've been here about a week now trying to dry out. So are they any good? Those little things, are they, y'all tell me, are they any good? Do away with them, cut them off, throw them away? Y'all let me know. We'll look at the tractor here. I don't know if you noticed, we got a little mud here. We got a little mud here on the back tire. And we got some mud on the plow. So what is that all about? That is, we'll take you out here and show you here in just a second. Got a walking stick, a nice sawed. You got split tobacco sticks and you got sawed tobacco sticks. This was a sawed with a sawmill tobacco stick. I got some split ones too, but this is a saw one. So why is the plow hooked up to the tractor? Well, about 5 inches of rain and counting, we had a water problem in the corn. So come around here, Sammy. What we had to do, and I still ain't got it all out, guys. I'm hoping the sun will help me out a little bit here, but it was up to the top of them, and I pulled the best I could, pulled some ditches out, and then come up here and pulled a ditch up through here, trying to get some of this water out the best I could. I've probably already made up my mind this last little 10 foot right here, which you can see it now. It's smaller than that other corn. By the way, beautiful corn, and oh my gosh, I mean, just right before this rain, that corn wasn't that tall. You guys seen the video, me putting the nitrogen to it, which I don't know how much of that nitrogen is left now, but we'll get some sun on this thing the next couple days. It'll dry that out pretty quick, but the water that was in it, it wouldn't have dried that out pretty quick. No matter how hot it was, it would have stayed there a minute or two. And so those rolls are fine there. It's just these first 2 rolls, I've got those rolls down to maybe that much water in it, so that should come on out. Let me look here. Yeah, so it's just on the ends of these rolls it's come on out. So it's still gonna make some beautiful corn, barring no bad thunderstorms, hailstorms, or what have you. We should be okay. But that water, I know those roots, they can't stand to be in that water long. You've got to get them out. But it's probably, and I don't want to get in here because it's so wet, but it's probably about, some of it's about 5 foot tall now. And this is the Jimmy Red. If you're watching this video for the first time, this is the Jimmy Red corn, and I look to get a bunch of seed off of it. So we're gonna undo the electric fence, just because we may have to try to get in here a little bit. I won't be able to get in here as much as I'd like to because it is still so muddy, but I wanted to show you guys how much it's jumped. Come on through here, Sammy. Sammy's behind the camera today, and if any of you guys are new and been following the channel, Sammy, he does do some filming for me. Will, my oldest son, he's done a lot of filming for me. They both do great jobs, but Will's getting married on us, so his filming days are limited, which is okay. Sammy can do a good job, and so Sammy's behind the camera today, and probably will be a lot more. Here are the Roma 2 green beans that at the time I didn't think it was that much corn, and we decided to leave the corn in it, and that's fine, because guys, there's folks that planted corn and green beans on purpose together, and it doesn't hurt a thing. It may, if it's wet in the morning when you're picking the beans, it may get you wet, but I'm gonna see if Sammy, you go that way and stay on that grass, and I'm gonna get out here, and it's gonna be a little wet. So example, you can see this green beans climbing that corn stalk a little bit, but we got some blooms on them, and that's not a good example to show you. This is probably a better example of the beans. Here's what they are now. You can tell this light green look here has really jumped out, and you can see these little beans here. I feel like in about 5 days we're going to be picking some green beans, some Roma 2s. So we have 3 rows of these, and again they go down there, and this corn, it's about 4 or 5 foot tall, and it's also Jimmy Red. It's the Jimmy Red that I planted first, but then kind of changed my mind because I said, you know, I got some sweet potatoes over here and I need to fence it all in. So I moved the green beans over here so they could be fenced in, because I didn't think the Jimmy Red did that great. I'm gonna still say it's a 50% stand of Jimmy Red. It's not what the stand is in that garden, but that's good. That's more to grind, more cornbread to make. All right, down here, guys, these 2 rows here, as you guys can see, and I'm trying not to go too far because you can see what I'm doing here. It is plenty muddy. These 2 rows here are the Food Lion giant lima beans. What's a Food Lion giant lima bean? Well, that's a lima bean that we bought from Food Lion and we planted it. These 2 here, they're really starting to spread, really starting to take off. Probably got some early indications of some blooms here. I don't know how much they run, because to be quite honest with you guys, it's been so long since I planted lima beans, I don't remember how much they run the ground. I do know the Roma 2s, they don't run that much. They run a little bit, but they pretty much stay kind of in a bush. Being is that corn's in there with them, they may run up it a little bit because I've never had corn in there with it. So these 2 here are the giant lima beans. Now these, if you'll remember, are the normal size lima beans here, and you can kind of tell because it's a little bit darker leaf on these, and they're coming along just great too. You can see down through there how these 2 rows are just absolutely just gone like weeds, growing like weeds. I think that's the title of the video I'll make, growing like weeds. So let's see if I can get in here a little bit. I don't want to go too far. The tomatoes are doing great. I need another string about right here. As you can see it here, that would catch that. We got some tomatoes on the bush here. We got some here. They're doing wonderful, doing great. It's just that I want to wait another couple days before I go in there and make another string pass. We got cucumbers, half of this row, the back side of that row right down there is squash, and we may walk around and go to that side and look at a squash plant down there. Let's see. I haven't even looked at this myself. Let's see if make sure we ain't got no blossom rot. No blossom rot, just a good old German Johnson tomato. Well, I got the name right. Last time I said Jimmy Johnson. German Johnson tomato. And here's the sweet potatoes. They are running the hill just like I told you guys they would. They looked real splendidly there for a while, and man, I was like, God, these things ever gonna start spreading out? But they're spreading out now. You can see down through there that they're doing good. Probably wouldn't hurt if I put a little fertilizer to some of this before too long, when I can get in here again, because I feel like that rain probably leached a lot of it out. different view of the garden, the back side of it. We were on the front side. Here's the back side view. Those beans, a little bit better soil down here, so they did actually take off a little bit quicker than some of the beans in the mid-row. You can see still plenty of blooms, wonderful looking there. So we wanted to look at see if we could get an eyeball of a few squash. And by the way, guys, here's the okra. As soon as it dries up, I'm gonna get in here with a hoe and we're gonna take care of some of this grass in here with this okra. And I'm gonna add a little more fertilizer to it. I do see a little bit of biting right there on that plant. I don't know if a deer got in here and I didn't see it, know it, but it's definitely not nothing that I've been used to. I mean, Lord of mercy, the deer's been just usually killing it. So yeah, we got a few squash here. Matter of fact, that one right there could come off probably tomorrow. So we only did about a half a roll of squash. Not too totally many, but here's the beefsteak tomatoes. And again, they really could use that top string here, and that string's, it's doing it. You guys can see it, it's holding it up. And they got pretty good looking little tomatoes on it here. Right, pretty. But we got to get another string on it as soon as we can get it on there to hold this top portion up. I noticed some of the German Johnsons were getting a few yellow leaves on the bottom, and I mentioned it to my buddy Charles at church, and he said something about some sort of, I don't know if he said disease, but it was something that he kind of expected on it. So I don't know if that's the case or not. And you know, I said beefsteak. These could be German Johnson on the end, and the beefsteaks start right here. Sammy, you stay there, don't you get too wet. Yeah, I think the beefsteaks start here, guys, and you can see how these German Johnsons got some little bit of yellow on the bottom, and then it's solid green all the way down on these beefsteaks. And they got pretty good looking tomatoes on them too. So again, the okra, which needs to be hoed. I do like the plant spacing on it. That did pretty good. The spacing on that planter, we used a grain sorghum disc on that planter. I do like that space. And you can, Sammy, show up through there and we can see all the beans and corn. Let's go over and take a look at the Silver Queen. I think you'll be surprised there. All right, you know we can't go to the Silver Queen without looking at the graph. All right, graph, here we go. I've been keeping the Bradford pear stuff off, the plastics off, and of course I put another layer of wound dressing around it when I took it off. I probably took that plastic off, I don't know if I said it on video, about a month ago now. But the one that was taking its time about budding out it's come on and budded out. That was this one right here. It's come on and budded out. So we may, for the winter, I may put like a string or something around these things to kind of strengthen them a little bit, just for high winds or what have you. You know, get them a little stronger. But these two are really, I mean, look at that. That stick was that big when we grafted it this spring. You really ought to look at that video. And now it's just, I mean, it's, golly, half tall as that stick. But I'm tickled to death with that. We got us a new graft candidate. I'll show it to you on the way over here to the Silver Queen. So, same situation. I don't know what type of rootstock they used for apple trees, but we had an apple tree die, and what came up behind it is not an apple tree. I'm sure it come up from the rootstock, and that was this booger here. It kind of looks like an apple tree, but it's not. It had no flowers on it or anything. So the plan is, again, I'm gonna come down here, probably cut this one off even with the ground, leave this one to about right here, cut everything off of it this winter, and we'll graft it right there. What I would love to find is a nice red delicious or something like that, or maybe a red and golden delicious. Graft one on one side, graft the other on the other side. That'd be pretty neat. But we're going to graft that again this fall, but we'll clean it up. We'll clean it up this winter. We'll cut some stuff off of it and clean it up. So here we go. We have Silver Queen, and she's been tasseling. She's got her little silks on her. I got a question, and maybe somebody can answer this. It dawned on me while it was raining. I wonder if that rain will interfere with the pollen or whatever falls from the tassel and hits the silk and makes the kernels. I don't know, will the rain mess with that? Will it wash it away before it gets down there? Just a curiosity question, I didn't know, but beautiful crop of sweet corn. We can look down through here, Sammy, as we go, and it come out great. It, I think I made a video of one time where it was kind of up and down, and I said, man, I got some big on this end, small on that end, but it's working out pretty good. Probably what I do, and I don't normally do this, but when I pull an ear, or when I get the ear off the stalk, pulling it this time, I may take a machete and just cut the stalk, let it fall down in the row, and that way, okay, I know I've pulled that one, and I can kind of get an idea. Since some of it was late and some of it was early, that would give me an idea which is which. Let's look at it from the back side here. So from the back side, it's nothing wrong, good clean. It's nice and clean because we were able to get over it with those discs not too long ago. Like I said, again, I can't complain a bit with it. It'll make us some corn, and it'll do pretty good. We went ahead and decided to move the pop-up camper, and no, I'm not going to make it a pop-up, but we are going to make it a lawnmower trailer. Got a good frame for that. That'll be a good project this winter. We'll do that. We'll make a lawnmower project out of it, put decking on it, rewire it, put lights on it. I'm not sure how North Carolina law is, but it's already tagged as a trailer, or titled as a trailer. It's got a VIN. I guess we can just leave it like that and get a tag for it, and then just keep on going. And I'm not sure, but it seemed like it would make sense. I don't know. We need to look at the Hastings. I personally haven't looked at that Hastings in probably 3 weeks. The last time I looked at it, guys, is when I made the video with the rolling cultivators, and we didn't know it at the time, but that was the lay-by. The rolling cultivators was the lay-by. So let's all look at that, and we'll wrap this thing up. This muscadine vine, thought I'd show you this, guys. I think it's muscadine. It has gone wild, man. This thing is done real well. Why are we standing here? So right here is a high spot. I just went down about 3 feet. This was Will's racetrack, and it went right around, right up through here, and it was somewhere for him to ride his go-kart. But it's actually a way better garden spot than over there. And I couldn't decide how I wanted to try to fix this thing, but I know what we're going to do. I'm going to do it to 140. I'm going to try to do it to 140. We'll take the chisel plow on this bank that I pushed out, and we'll chisel plow out, and I'll take the blade and pull it back into there, and we'll just keep chisel plowing it and move the dirt, chisel plow it, move the dirt, and we're going to fill this in with that 140, so be looking for that video. We're at the Hastings field. We haven't given the Hastings any attention. been kind of neglecting her. No, well, I ain't gonna say neglecting. She's been on cruise control ever since I put the nitrogen down. I can't complain, guys. It's looking very good. One thing I do kind of need a little bit of water there, but that water there is in a spot where it's not a lot of corn there, so that's a saving grace there, because it would be drowned it. But nice looking corn. It's probably the Hastings is probably about 6 foot tall now. It's getting on up there. Wished I could walk out here a little bit and kind of stand beside one and measure my height against it, but I'm gonna guess if I'm standing in the fur, it's as tall as me. If I'm standing on top of it, it's probably maybe up to my chin or something. But she's growing, she's green. I look for this to tassel out and make some corn. Lord have mercy, it's had enough water on it to make it, and but I think she'll be okay. Appreciate everybody hanging around the video, and look forward to, we got some canning. I'm gonna try to film more of my canning this year than I ever have. I've usually maybe one video and that's it. So we'll film some canning videos. We got to tear the racetrack up, put that back, kind of get that ready to go, because we want to move. We're going to shift all of that garden over to my land. And that includes the corn patch that we have the Jimmy Red in too. We're going to shift it down too. But so look forward to doing that, and just lots coming up. Thank you guys. God loves you. God bless you. We'll see you.